Hey guys, welcome back to Djembe Master, and in this video, let's check out the two most common mistakes to avoid with the the djembe drum. So number one, a mistake I keep on talking about all the time, reminding my students all the time, that's why it's number one, is keeping the tempo slow. People usually want to start playing quite fast, quite quickly, which is totally understandable. I absolutely did that stuff myself when I started learning how to play drums when I was 10. I understand the urge, and I even encourage people to check out the fastest tempo you can possibly do. And you'll notice when you start messing up, that's probably around where the fastest tempo is at that time. After you've discovered that fast tempo, come back to the slow practicing. So I'm going to give you an example of, let's say, a 3-3-2 beat with 2 bass strokes. I'm going to play a beat, and I'll show you like a normal tempo, how I would practice this if I would first start playing this, and actually then show you the real slow tempo. So the most important thing here is to take away, you actually haven't mastered a beat unless you're able to play it extremely slowly as well. So here goes. Normal tempo and then the actual slow tempo. Practicing tempo. The second mistake I see all the time is having your hands too much up in the air, not close enough to the edge of the djembe. Since the tempos will be quite slow for many different new exercises you haven't done before, it's a good idea to have your hands resting on the edge for as long as possible. Now I say this because when you start playing faster, you don't notice that so much. You don't notice having your hands like resting on the edge because you constantly keep on lifting your hand to go do another stroke and yet another stroke. But when the tempos are slow, which they should be for practicing, you have the time to notice that yes, your hands are constantly resting on the edge, meaning you don't even lift them up unless it's absolutely necessary. So I'm gonna play, let's say, a straight beat as an example. First I'll have too much air time with a slow tempo, and then same thing, but I'll actually have my hands super close to the edge, and you'll notice how long that can take. You only lift up your hand when you're gonna go and do a stroke, and you probably need less time to do it. So these are the two most common mistakes to avoid, and they might seem like not that important, more important to get to focus on the rhythms we're practicing and stuff, which is true, but I just noticed that 90%, without exaggeration, of the stuff I talk about in a private lesson are those two things. So my job really is to remind people to avoid those two mistakes. That's what I mostly do when I talk. So if you have questions, write them in the comments. And if you want to take your skills to the next level, make sure to check out courses on djembemaster.com.